When you think of a quick snack with a cup of coffee, or the cliché of a police station break room in American movies, what image comes to mind? Probably the donut. That golden ring, dusted with sugar or covered in icing, is an icon of pop culture and American cuisine. But did you know that the history of this treat begins long before Homer Simpson and involves Dutch settlers, a sea captain who hated raw dough, wartime volunteers, and a machine that hypnotized crowds? Come along as we uncover the complete history of the donut. Our story begins not in the United States, but in Europe. Frying dough in oil is an ancient tradition. The ancient Greeks and Romans already enjoyed their versions of fried dough, and archaeologists have even found fossils resembling donuts in ancient Native American settlements. However, the most direct ancestor of the modern donut came with Dutch immigrants. In the 17th century, the Dutch who settled in New Amsterdam, modern-day New York, brought with them a recipe for small, sweet dough balls fried in pork fat. They called them alikokes, which means oil cakes. These early donuts didn't have the ring shape we know today. They were balls of dough that, because of their thickness, often ended up raw in the center and burnt on the outside. To solve this problem, Dutch cooks would fill the center with ingredients that didn't need cooking, like nuts, dried fruits, or creams. But the biggest turning point in donut history happened in 1847, thanks to a young American sailor named Hanson Gregory. According to Gregory himself, he disliked the raw, doughy center of his mother Elizabeth Gregory's fried cakes. The most famous story goes that, during a voyage, he used the lid of a pepper tin to cut out the center of the dough before frying it. Another, more picturesque version, claims he impaled one of his mother's donuts on the spoke of his ship's wheel to free his hands during a storm, accidentally creating the ring shape. Regardless of the version, the whole was a brilliant innovation. It increased the surface area in contact with the hot oil, allowing the treat to cook evenly, resulting in the soft, airy interior and crispy exterior we know and love. Speaking of the name, the origin of the word donut is also curious. It first appeared in print in 1809, in Washington Irving's book, A History of New York, describing balls of sweetened dough, fried in hog's fat, and called donuts. A popular theory is that the name came from the combination of dough and nut, a direct reference to the nuts that Hanson Gregory's mother, Elizabeth, placed in the center to prevent the raw middle. The abbreviated spelling, donut, emerged in the late 19th century and was truly popularized by industry giants like Dunkin' Donuts. The donut crossed the Atlantic once more and became a symbol of hope during World War I. Salvation Army volunteers, nicknamed Donut Lassies, and later, Donut Dollies in World War II, went to the front lines in France to bring a taste of home to American soldiers. With limited equipment, donuts were easier to make than pies or cakes, requiring little more than a pot of hot oil. This act of kindness and comfort forever cemented the donut's image as an American symbol of solace and nostalgia. After the war, demand exploded. In 1920, a Russian immigrant named Adolf Levitt, who owned a bakery in New York City, created the first automatic donut machine to keep up with the crowds. Levitt's machines didn't just speed up production, they created a spectacle. Watching donuts float through a grease canal, flip themselves, and emerge on a ramp was a futuristic attraction. At the 1934 Chicago World's Fair, automatic donuts were billed as the food hit of the century of progress. It was around this time that two giants emerged. In 1937, Vernon Rudolph bought a secret recipe and the Krispy Kreme name from a French chef in Kentucky and opened his first shop in North Carolina. The irresistible smell from the shop made people stop and ask to buy fresh donuts on the spot. Then, in 1950, William Rosenberg founded Dunkin' Donuts in Massachusetts, which would go on to become the world's largest chain. A classic fun fact is the connection between cops and donut shops. This started in the 1950s. The shops were one of the few places open late at night, offering an inexpensive, energy-boosting snack for police officers on the night shift. Plus, shop owners loved having police around as it deterred robberies. Today, Americans consume about 10 billion donuts a year. They fall into two main categories: yeast donuts, made with leavened dough, lighter and airier, and cake donuts, made with a chemical leavening, denser. The variations are endless, From the classic glaze to the sophisticated cronut, a hybrid with a croissant, and those filled with cream, jam, or Nutella. So, the next time you bite into a donut, remember, you're not just eating a ring of fried dough. You're savoring centuries of history, from the resourcefulness of Dutch colonists to the genius of a bored sailor, from the comfort offered by wartime volunteers to the spectacle of automatic machines. The donut has traveled through cultures and across continents to become this universally adored icon. Now I want to know from you, what's your favorite topping? The classic glazed, chocolate, or the ones with colorful sprinkles? And did you know the story of the sailor who punched the hole? Tell us in the comments. If you enjoyed this sweet and crispy story, hit that like button to help the channel grow. And if you're not subscribed yet, subscribe now and ring the bell because every week a new story is coming out of the kitchen or the fryer. See you on the next plate.